Hi, and welcome along to AFTV. We are here for the starting 11. Of course, we're looking forward to the game today, Bournemouth versus Arsenal. This is another huge game for Arsenal. We've started the season brilliantly, 2-2. Do you know this, right? If we win today, right, we would have won 3 games in a row for the first time since...
When? What?
You don't know?
2000s or something?
Where you going? 2000 what?
5 or something?
2000. Jeez.
Is that right?
2004-5.
Oh, what? Yeah, well, I meant
I'll
that.
give it to you.
Yeah,
2004-5.
I didn't research that either.
That was the last time we won 3 games in a row. And what happened that season?
We went in.
We were.
We were invincible.
We was invincible.
Now,
Dare I say it?
slow down. I'm not saying we're going to do that this season, but listen.
3-4.
Huh?
I thought that was 2003-4.
No, it was actually.
Oh, 3-4, yeah. But listen.
We won the FA Cup.
Yeah,
We
we
knew
won,
what
we
the
won
game
something.
would be.
We won something.
So it would be a magnificent start for Arsenal if we could get off to 3 in a row, and we're really looking forward to what the team's going to be. Joined by Helen, of course. Kwame's in the building as well, and you spoiled the party, James, man. Now everybody's rocking pink, bro. You turn up in
What's
black.
wrong with you? You didn't get the memo.
Yeah, do you get the memo, man? We're in black today. We're in pink.
It's my new hoodie. I just thought I'd enjoy it on set. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, no one told me about the pink.
Yeah, it's about 80 degrees outside as well. You know, he's wearing a hoodie.
It's true.
Man's not hot.
This is one of those things where you've got like a new item of clothing you want to wear, but it's just not weather appropriate.
But anyway, listen, we're looking forward to the game today. Of course, Cecil is at the game. This game, by the way, Bournemouth Stadium I've been to many times. Tiny little stadium. Capacity of just, under 12,000, the smallest ground in the Premier League. You only get, as away fans, you only get like an allocation of 1,300 tickets. Yeah. And 300 of that goes to sort of the corporate guys, right? So it's about 1,000 tickets. My phone has been ringing off all week. Robbie, man, you got a ticket? I go, yeah, I ain't got a ticket myself, right? Only 1 ticket, I had to give it to Cecil, right? So tickets are gold dust, but I'll tell you one thing, it's a tiny little ground, generates a great atmosphere. The away fans are really close to the pitch. When the players are warming up and that, they're literally like, it is literally you're here and the players are there. It is that close. It's really good place to go and watch football. And, you know, those players will be really confident today. I mean, how are you feeling about their game? Are you feeling confident going into this?
I am, yeah. I'm very confident.
Yeah? Confident,
She doesn't give a lot away, does she?
I know, she just
doesn't,
proper just like...
Just very confident.
Listen.
Why are you very confident?
Because I'm enjoying the way we're playing football. I'm enjoying the energy in the team right now. So it's a beautiful day. We're playing at a lovely stadium. Why would I not be confident?
Because it's Arsenal.
Well, no.
I'm confident.
No, hold on, wait a minute. And that is a thing that we're trying to
Eliminate,
push that away this
We have
season.
new DNA now, James.
Yeah, we're pushing that away this season, man. It's this thing about, but it's a tough place to go. Oh, but it's Arsenal. No. It has to be a new Arsenal this season.
I agree.
Now, we saw the Arsenal that went away to Crystal Palace. You know what I mean? First game of the season, lots of pressure, and they dealt with it. They coped with it nicely. Following week, up against Leicester. All right, not the same type of pressure. But first home game, met all expectations. And Kwame, you know, this is another very winnable game, isn't it? Bournemouth.
On paper, yeah. On paper, it's a winnable game. But like you said, the atmosphere at the stadium is going to be incredible. The pressure's on. This is
atmosphere of every.
No. But this one is like a cauldron. This is like a fortress.
No, you know what? Listen, I'm pushing away all these things this season.
Yeah,
Serious, right? If I was in that dressing room,
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to hear. I'll be like saying to player, I don't want to hear nothing about the atmosphere.
No, but that's what you're going to
Cauldron and all
That's
that.
what you're going to
Every
get.
single one of you here are international players. Every single one of you players here are played in these stadiums year in, year out.
But they are
right?
also human beings.
You're human beings, but
Human
you're
beings.
professionals. You're used to these atmospheres. Player for player, Arsenal versus Bournemouth, you are better than them. If you come here with the right attitude, if you come here and you play your proper game, if you match or if you at least match their intensity and their fight, you will win the game. That's what.
No, 100%.
But
then that should be everything. That should be every single game.
That should be every single game.
It doesn't happen that way, does it?
That should be every. If we're going to Man City away now, and you say that, you say, oh boy, bit of a tough after. I get it, because they're a better team than us.
Yeah.
If we go into Liverpool, I get it, right? But when we're going to Bournemouth, man, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
right?
I'm with Robbie. Because
We're supposed to win these games. End of. And that's how we got to start approaching these now.
The thing
100%,
is,
I'm gonna say
would you
something
sign 2 players from Man City for if they're going to turn up to Arsenal and be like, oh, Bournemouth though? You know, like they have been in pressurised situations. The last 45 minutes Zinchenko played for City was 2-0 down to this team that on TV now, Aston Villa. You know, to try win the title. Gabriel Jesus playing against Real Madrid, Liverpool in semi-finals and finals and all that. It's a different pressure that they're used to. You add them to the team for not only their quality but the experience and what they've been and done. A player like Saliba, France international, the age of 21, everything he's gone through the last 3 years. I'm with Robbie. I get what you're saying. Like, it will
respect the other team.
Yeah, exactly.
You respect them.
Respect the other team. Respect where you are.
But remember
like
who
you're
you are.
saying, when you're talking about Man City and Liverpool, do you think they come to these grounds or they play these teams? These are the teams where they're like, we need to make sure that we hit home. We cannot take any step back. We can't say, oh, we're better than them or anything.
No,
like
you
that.
respect. No, you can. You can.
No, because
No,
if
no,
you
no.
take them lightly,
I think when Man City go to Bournemouth, I mean, they play Bournemouth.
Pep
last
is
week,
onto
right?
them even
But
more than if it was a Liverpool game, probably.
No, but I think when Man City go to Bournemouth, right, they respect them. They respect it. This is the Premier League. Respect every team. You saw Man United last week get battered by Brentford, right? We've been battered by Brentford before, right? You've got to respect every team, right? You've got to respect the fact that if you ain't up for the fight, that's the Premier League.
Yeah.
That's what makes the Premier League separate to a lot of other leagues, because you know PSG can turn up in the French league to certain grounds and be 50% below par, they still win. The same with Real Madrid. They can turn up to some games in their league and be way below par, way below par, but they still win. This league, you'll get beat, right? So you've got to respect that. But I think when Man City players turn up to Bournemouth or Liverpool turn up to Bournemouth, the expectancy on them, not just the fans, is that, yo, we're better than these lot, man. I'm looking for a couple of goals today. If you're Gabriel Jesus, you should be saying, you know, I'm looking to get on the score sheet a couple of times today.
Hat-trick pending.
Yeah, and it's not. That's not being disrespectful. That's not being disrespectful to Bournemouth.
being overly confident. But
you want your players to be confident.
No, of course, I want them to be confident, but then also, I don't want them to just think that they're going to easily clean up and get 3 points. And that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Pep and Klopp and all these top managers will come into these games against your Bournemouth, against your Palace, and those are the ones where they're like, you need to stay focused. You cannot let them get one goal up or let the crowd get ahead of them.
We know all that.
Do you understand?
But also, Pep's coming in and say, yo, we are... Man City were winning this.
In terms of quality, yes. This is the first season.
And that's how we got to start
I get it.
approaching.
This is the first season where we can actually, or at the moment, where the first few games, we're like, you know what, I'm feeling kind of confident. But let's not forget what's happened before that. And that's why we're saying, you know what,
But you can't keep reliving that right now.
Exactly.
You've
I
got
want Arsenal to start.
But this is a game where this is where they will be tested.
I want Arsenal.
This is for me is where they'll be tested.
Arsenal to start. I do want Arsenal to start forgetting that.
Yeah.
I want Arsenal to start having a different frame of mind when they're going into these games this season, where it's like, yeah, we're winning this, man.
Yeah, but then it's how they start off the game. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, but it's the mentality will reflect on how they start the game.
Yeah. All right, let me just do I know James is waiting patiently with a couple of stats.
He's prepared. He's prepared for things. Sorry.
No, man, I'm pumped for this, man. I'm fed up of going to these places, man.
I hope they prove me wrong. I hope they prove me wrong.
Hopefully, Bournemouth.
How many times have we said that?
We've got good records at Bournemouth.
We
have good records there.
We go into teams like that before, in the past, and it hasn't turned out that way.
Let me put it this way. If we don't win today, the question will be around everything Arsenal didn't do rather than everything Bournemouth did. What are the chances after this will go, Bournemouth are too good today? And again, you respect them.
That's what Robbie's saying about the Premier League. You just don't know. On the day, you don't know.
But where I do get where Robbie's coming from, when does the dial turn? When do we start saying, okay, the expectation's there now? There was a point, I'll be honest, last season, when most games away from home probably would have taken just a point here, point there, add to it, win your home games, you'll be fine. But it's got to change now. The money's been spent, the players are there.
What happened
Mentality,
when you are right, I get it. They could easily beat us.
When we used to win leagues, right?
Premier League.
When I remember going to so many away games, man, and like It's like, yo, who are we playing?
There was an air of confidence.
Yeah, winning that, man.
But what we
and you could see that within the players as well.
Of course.
You think Thierry Henry walked out there thinking,
but we ain't got Thierry Henry right now.
No, but that's where
we're just
no,
building.
but I know we're still building, but our mindset needs to change. We're better than Bournemouth, right?
Of course.
So you think Thierry Henry would have turned up to Bournemouth saying, oh, you know what? Boy, man, it's going to be a great atmosphere in there today. Boy, it's a tight pitch.
Exactly.
Thierry Henry's turning up saying, yo, man, you know what? I'm looking free today.
Yeah,
That's
and
what I want to see
Jesus will
forward.
be thinking that.
Exactly, and that's what I think with
Jesus
some of these
will be
players like
thinking that.
Jesus. I think that's
yeah,
what they.
No, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, man.
I hear what
Yeah.
you're saying.
About no tight pitch.
I hear what you're
And
saying.
going back to that little comment quickly, even you're saying we were so bad last season. Let's just not forget we only lost top 4 by how many points? And we are so much better than that
We
right
lost
now.
13 games though. That
Yeah, no, I know that,
Which
but
feeds
we're
into Paul's
all
point
in
about how
agreement that
stupid
was not good
defeats.
enough and acceptable, and we weren't where we wanted to be. But now I see a change, so we have to
Anything
have a
can
different
happen. You look at
mindset.
Liverpool and what even Fulham. Fulham gave Liverpool a run for their money. Yes. Oh.
all right. All right. Let me get into.
Crossbar.
Let me cut in a couple of comments and then I'm going to hand it over to you, James. I know you've got some stats for us around the game.
Always.
Jeremy Higson says, this is a statement game. Let's beat this lot 4 or 5-0. Show the big club mentality like that.
Yeah, no, I'm with
Beat
you.
them big and see some subs in the garbage time. Up the Gunners. Big Ash says, remember, with Wenger, we always won the small team games. We need to get back and to those and then deal with the big teams. Well, yeah, I want to see that sort of attitude today. As I said, Kwame, just going back to it, I don't want to disrespect these teams.
No,
because,
I hear what you're
you
saying.
know, it's the Premier League. As I said, it's the Premier League, man. All the teams in the Premier League, even
They're all
Bournemouth,
good,
stacked with
yeah.
international players. But we're better than them. James.
That's cool.
Yeah, let's talk about Bournemouth. Playing a back 3. I mean, obviously, that's the formation they used when they played Villa, beat them 2-0 at home. I think one goal from a set piece, a header from Kiefer Moore as well. The thing I found interesting was Jefferson Lerma playing a centre back in the heart of the back 3 in there. And we knew him as a midfielder. We've seen him in the Premier League a few times. Well, more than a few times. I think he played quite a few years in the Premier League with Bournemouth. So I thought, okay, was this a regular thing? You look at his numbers last season in the Championship. I think it was, I've got it here, 33 appearances in midfield, only the one at centre back. So that is clearly something that they're doing for now. I don't know whether it's that Scott Parker just wants to get through these first few games, tricky run, City, Arsenal, Villa, or if it's actually something they're going with a bit more long term. But Jefferson Lerma isn't overly familiarised with that position. So where did we see it? Obviously Man City can do this to any team, but as I like to do, let's go to the tactical pad. What we see with this goal is Haaland, who, by the way, only completed 2 passes all game.
Yeah,
Not very involved, but when he was taking defenders away with his movement. They were constantly following, and Jefferson Lerma couldn't get anywhere near him.
And he's still got an assist, didn't he?
He's still got an assist, and we're actually going to watch this here, which I've tried to illustrate. But forgetting Haaland here, and obviously Lerma's involvement, it's Gundogan's run, and what I want to plant in everyone's minds right now is Granit Xhaka's performance against Leicester last week. The way he played, his role, what he did. So what we've got here, Walker pings the ball into Gundogan, little 1-2, spins, and Gundogan puts it in the back of the net. Then their their third goal, Foden. Again, De Bruyne, he's running at goal, slots it into Foden, and he makes that run, third man run. No, it's not called a third man run. Anyway, he makes the run beyond. The point is, Gundogan, Foden, and De Bruyne got their second goal as well. The fourth was an own goal. So all the Man City goal scorers from midfield, runs from midfield, running in beyond. We saw Granit Xhaka do that all the time against Leicester. Running in beyond. Oh yeah, go on.
But the only thing I saw that he was getting forward a lot more, but he hasn't got the quality to finish. So he was in great opportunities. I think it was a header he had. There's a time where he could have had a shot.
Yeah. He scored a goal, remember?
Yeah, I know he scored, but I'm saying you need that's the difference. Where them lot, they're so clinical. You got man that can finish at anywhere within the box. When you got Granit Xhaka, 1 out of 5 chances, 1 out of 4 chances he probably had last week against Leicester, and in a tighter game like that, they need to go in the back of the net.
They do. I've got here his just some of his involvement in the attacking half in the final third as well. You got that red arrow shows where he hit the post, the yellow shows where he scored. Some of the passes and touches he had in the box and how direct he was compared to what we're used to seeing from Granit Xhaka. The reason I'm mentioning this to everyone is he's a player who we're not really used to him sort of getting forward and breaking the lines, but he did that so effectively against Leicester. And we've seen only 7 days earlier Bournemouth really struggling to deal with Phil Foden, Kevin De Bruyne a little bit, but also Ilkay Gundogan making those runs and beyond. And you've got to do that when you're playing against a back three, because when you've got a back three, which really becomes a back five, the wing backs tuck in, there's a lot of attention on what those forward players are doing. So the only way you're going to cause them any problems is by running and beyond. If you've kind of got two up front or you're trying to play in the pockets, they're going to feel very comfortable coming into that space because there's someone else to cover. So it's about constantly running and beyond and stretching them and trying to make the pitch as big as possible and create those spaces for them. I think Granit Xhaka could be absolutely key for that very reason. It's just interesting that we saw him doing that against Leicester. But Arsenal do have a little bit of trouble against back threes. We saw it last season in the 2021-22 Premier League season. Our record against teams that played a back three, 13 games, we won 7 of them. But that's 6 games that we dropped points in. 1 draw, 5 defeats against teams that played a back three. So it's something, because we didn't have the most naturally creative players, we kind of struggled to break those kind of defences down. I think against Leicester, we played a back three last week. We showed a little bit more quality. Again, Granit Xhaka being a big part of that.
Yeah. And of course, Jesus.
And Jesus being a massive part of that. And talking of strikers, got to watch out for Kiefer Moore. Again, this is going to be a different kind of challenge for William Saliba. Maybe something we'll see on set pieces could be difficult. He's a striker, he's 6'3", but of his 89 career goals, 33 of them were headers. So I think we know what to worry about from Bournemouth's perspective. I don't think they're going to come chasing us for 90 minutes. When they get set pieces, we know who to watch. But the big thing as well is, you know, away from home, it's going to be so easy to go, well, Xhaka, don't commit too much. Stay next to Partey, just keep it safe. No, go for it. Keep doing what we did last week.
I want to see Arsenal attacking today. So I'm interested. I was looking at a tweet from David Ornstein, and he's put Nicolas Pepe not in the Arsenal squad for the Bournemouth trip as talks continue over his future. Arsenal speaking to Nice about a season-long loan. The 27-year Ivory Coast winger, believed to be keen on leaving and discussing personal terms. So it is looking like Pepe is leaving. Pepe won't be in the team today. So, and I noticed that Marquinhos, who the manager said is going to figure more around the first team setup, he's playing for the under-21s today, so he's not going to be an option off the bench either. Also, just noting, just a little sideline, Tielemans today, not playing for Leicester, on the bench, left out because Brendan Rodgers said not in the right frame of mind to play. So could Arsenal be making a move for Tielemans as well? I mean, it's going to be interesting the last couple of weeks in the transfer window. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting today, or probably interesting in the next week or so, to see who else Arsenal bring in. But regarding the team, do you think we stick with the same team, Helen, that played last week? Or, you know, there's been some people saying maybe you could bring in a Tierney, or, you know, what would you do?
I think he'll start with the same team.
Yeah? Would you?
Yeah.
Yeah? No changes?
Yeah, I'm not rushing Tierney back. Definitely not, because he's a delicate player. He can take his time. And, yeah, why would you change things? This team's been strong starting so far. We're looking for our 3rd win. Start with the same team and bring on as and when, depending on how the game goes, what we need.
Okay, Ashai says, big up Qualms, great contributor.
Oh, thank you.
What about you? Do you stay with the same team, or would you make any changes to that team today?
I would maybe make a change. I would actually put Tierney in. I think.
Yeah? Why?
Yeah. Because there's been a few times where I've seen Zinchenko, like, he's not match fit yet. I mean, he does contribute a lot to the game going forward.
Yeah, but more match fit than Tierney.
I think Tierney, the only reason I'm saying Tierney now is because obviously we was hearing rumours about City was sniffing around for him as a left back, and that he might be a bit unsettled. So for me, I'm just thinking, putting myself in the shoes of a manager, I want to keep my players happy. And Tierney, obviously on his day, we know Tierney's a great left back, but I also want him to feel like he's part of the squad. This is a game. He's come
on the past couple of games.
Yeah, I know, he's come on, but I also want to show him, look, I still want you in the squad, so I'm going to start you. A Bournemouth game, like you said, obviously it's a game where we can look at it and say, look, this is a time where we can maybe not risk it, but I would probably start Tierney over Zinchenko and then see what happens if we switch it around. If we then bring on Zinchenko in the second half, if we need to.
Gunnar Vettel says Tomiyasu for me should come in. White has been quality, but this is the game Tommy can get some fitness back. Would you bring in Tomiyasu back
No.
in?
I think it's a risk.
He's a bit more delicate, yeah.
Yeah, they're delicate. You can't.
Yeah.
You can't just. We're not desperate right now. The whole point we've added to the squad is to be sensible. You don't bring on Tierney and Tommy. God forbid they pull up with some kind of muscle strain or whatever unnecessarily. That's just my opinion.
I think Helen's spot on. It's nothing to do with. Okay, White's been excellent, by the way. That should be said. You know, very good against Palace defensively. I thought looked good on the ball against Leicester. And Zinchenko, I think, has been awesome. I mean, apart from a difficult 20 minutes against Palace in the second half when he was defending a lot, I think he's been really, really good. So from that perspective, you're not going to change it around. But the rush, the whole point around rushing, that's the big thing. We've seen Tierney and Tomiyasu, they have these recurring injuries. Smith Rowe you can chuck in there as well.
Yeah.
Niggly, recurring injuries, you think it's a week, it ends up being 5 weeks, and you know, you don't really know when you're getting them back, and then you know, you're putting them into the ferocity of the Premier League. You know, I mean, that'll be true of any league, but the point is, the pressure's on Arsenal to build on this momentum, and you just don't need to do it.
Yeah.
You know, we might be a better team with Tierney and Tomiyasu back, but we're looking at a pretty bloody damn good team.
And do you remember
with White and Zinchenko?
the All or Nothing documentary? I was watching it the other day.
Oh yeah, with Tierney.
They said Kieran Tierney
He picked it up
had
a
been
while
playing
ago.
5 or 6 games with a niggle.
But that's a
you know,
typical
with-
professional.
with-
That's how they are. That's how
Because
they
they're
are.
not going to tell you because
Yeah,
they want to
won't say
play.
nothing, exactly.
So, and the thing is as well, I mean, personally, I would stick with the same team as well, because I just look at it and I say to myself, at the moment, we're playing 1 game a week.
Yeah, exactly.
We've still got that hustle and bustle to come. You see, September, that's good. We got in September the EFL Cup comes into play, right? We've also going to have Europa League games.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, it's going to go from what we've got at the moment, which is 1 game a week. I know at the towards the end of August, after next week, isn't it? We've got Fulham, then we've got Villa midweek. But then September, there's a lot of games all of a sudden. So I would rather Tomiyasu and I would rather Tierney be fully up for it. So that when they, you know, if they come in for those games, they're fully up for speed. There's also guys like Fabio Vieira,
Exactly,
Emil Smith-Rowe. Let these guys be ready and sharp. So when they come in, not only are they fit, but they're hungry, they're desperate to play, you know what I mean?
There's a good comment from Dr. Ken. He said, why is it a rush? They are match fit. And I get what he's saying. He's basically saying they're ready, so what's the rush? But I think the point is more, White and Zinchenko playing really well, Arsenal playing really well. If you're putting or forcing Tierney and Tomiyasu into this team, then you are by definition rushing them, because we don't need them.
Yeah.
So you're calling on them before there's a real need at Arsenal. I'm not saying you should wait till that moment, because White and Zinchenko might be fit and firing for the next 20 games. But the point is, you can ease them in with, what's Tierney had, 20 and then 30 minutes? Maybe
might
give
give
him,
him
as you
30.
said, 45 minutes in the
Yeah.
EFL, a whole game in the Europa League. These guys have so many recurring injuries that if players are performing, you just don't need to bother with
Yeah,
it.
we've got to nurse him. Couple of comments here. Sammy Rahman says, he says, we're comfortable with Zinchenko, and he looks so comfortable on the balls, always flawless technically. KT is a great option, and we all know his quality, but Zinchenko starts, and KT has to be eased in. That's what he's saying. And Ashai says, James, will Saka suffer on a less creative right-hand side?
But there's no reason why it should be less creative, because Odegaard's still out there. The two just haven't. Saka and Odegaard have been good in the first 2 games. They've just not been the levels that we've seen them at. So they'll click. You know, it's not a problem because Xhaka and Martin are doing their thing.
Yeah, Malemo says Tierney and Tomiyasu are fit. I think they should start to give them the necessary preparedness for the bigger games. This is the whole point of having a big squad. But
You've got to
what's
rotate
the
your
rush?
squad. You've got to rotate your squad.
The
You wanna
rush,
build
the season
momentum.
finishes in May. I mean, August now.
Yeah, we say
God
that.
forbid he starts them and they pull up injured.
Okay, but then-
everyone would be moaning.
Yeah, but then it's the same way on the other way. If you look at it the other way as well, we wait. Oh yeah, let's put him in for this game. Then they get injured. You just don't know. This is a thing.
Yeah, but
No,
for
you
me,
don't know.
you don't know. But if they were at the point of being ready, they would feature. Is how I look at it.
I remember there was this big debate we had on Forever Arsenal podcast. Go check that out twice a week. And it was about Smith Rowe and where he'll play. And a similar thing with Tomiyasu and Tierney, bringing them in. And I made the point that if you remember Sir Alex Ferguson, You wouldn't see Nani for the first 5 months of the season, and then bam, he plays the whole second half. Like, it's a long campaign. We expect to go far in the Europa League. That should be the expectation, the demands of the team, and you expect a cup run or two in there as well. So with that, there's a lot of games to be played. There's nothing wrong with saying to certain players, you might not feature much before the World Cup, but when everyone comes back and the likes of Martinelli have been there, Saka, you're then going to have a big part to play. That's just squad management, and it's looking ahead. We always think game to game, but they do have a bigger picture to look at as well.
It's also the thing, you don't change a winning team.
Yeah.
That's that. I mean,
that's
the main
momentum
thing
as well right now.
Yeah.
You don't change a winning team. We've won our last 2 games. We've scored 6 goals. Why change it?
I think
you've got all those players there in reserve if need be.
I think because deep down we still know we still think Tierney and Tomiyasu are the best fullbacks we got. I think that's why. I think that's why this question's there. But yeah, we discussed it.
You wrap them up.
Although Andrew says we all think KT is the first choice left back, but Arteta might be thinking differently. And I've seen a lot of people even here in the comments saying that they prefer Zinchenko. What's your preference if they're both fully fit? I'll start with you, Kwame. Who starts? Both of them fully fit, rearing to go. 100%.
I would have him in my squad, but I wouldn't have Zinchenko at left back. I'll put him where Xhaka is.
Yes.
No, I'm asking about left back.
I've said that before as well.
Campaigns and full
He's good enough.
Zinchenko for midfield.
No, 100%. He's good enough.
He is, yeah.
It's a tough one.
Who starts?
All right. Zinchenko, I say starts. I'd say Zinchenko probably starts.
What did you want to drop him from your team?
No, I'm just saying that what we've been hearing about, obviously the rumours that Tierney's a bit upset. Watching the documentary, seeing how Tierney is obviously getting injured and whatever.
Every player.
I know every player wants to play.
Be a bit upset
I get that. There's nothing wrong with
There
that.
was quite a few of them upset.
You're not the only one, my friend.
Eddie.
But you know what, right? The thing is
I like that too.
There's being upset, but there's also you've got to be real and you've got to do for the team. And I think if I'm a footballer, right, and I'm being left out, but I can see that the guy who's coming for me is actually performing really well, right? I can't hate on that guy. I got to be like, I got to do better.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, if they're true professionals, he should know that Zinchenko's coming whilst I've been injured, and he's done well. And I'm going to have to fight. And I love that. This is what I'm liking at the moment
because
about
it's creating
Arsenal.
that kind of atmosphere.
It's
where
competition.
Everyone,
And I keep talking about, I don't want to see backups no more. I want to see competition. I want to see
for
better
the
players.
Yeah, I want because if you know, just referring back to that All or Nothing documentary, and just without even referring back to that, just referring back to the end of last season, we lost it basically because backups came in and weren't at the same level as you know the players that we had so many main players like Thomas Partey and that. They got injured, and the guys that came in, even though they did their very best and they played, they did well, but
it wasn't good enough.
Mohamed El Neni is not Thomas Partey. You know, Rob Holding is not Ben White or Saliba. You know what I mean? So that is. So I want competition. I want the argument that we're having now. KT or Zinchenko.
Isn't it
lovely?
It's great to have that argument. By the way, who would you go?
I would go Zinchenko right now.
Yep.
Only because I am very aware of his injury situations with Tierney. Yeah, and there's certain players that have that within their career, so you have to manage them with a view of those factors. And you can't, as a fan, I know you want to be like, I want him on my team sheet, but you need to do what's right for the team. So for me, Zinchenko starts right now.
You?
I'll give you the boring answer. It's horses for courses. If we're playing Man City,
depends
it's
who you're
Tierney.
playing,
If we're playing Bournemouth at home, it's Zinchenko.
Okay.
Or Bournemouth away.
Or Bournemouth away. Sivria says, this has to be said, big up to the Cronkies for the past 2 years. With Turkish. He says, yes, there's been issues in the past, but if they keep this up, they can fix the name, in my opinion. I'm going to bring, you know what? I'm not even around next week to bring it up with Turkish, man. I wanted to bring this up with...
We can do a whole show on that topic.
After the transfer window, when you see what's done, that could be a really good...
That's a good time.
That'll be a good time to bring it up.
You've got to ask Turkish about this, man, because, big up...
People are not complaining as much as they were before. So
Yes, they have spent a lot of money.
They have.
Yeah, but they've
put the money
always
where the mouth
spent
is.
money. It's how the money was managed.
It's the recruitment as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, the recruitment and that. So.
Anyway, we're just about a minute away, well, less than a minute away from knowing what the team is. I'm just looking here, refreshing my phone, waiting to see what the 11 is. It is out. All right, here we go. Where is it?
Xhaka's on the main.
I ain't got it on my phone yet. Your phone's ahead of mine, man.
He's
Huh? So you got the link?
You
I am
got-
on Twitter. All right, you got the link?
Yeah, I've got it as well.
Right, got the team. Here we go. Bloody hell, took the time on this. Right, here we go. In goal, Aaron Ramsdale. In goal, Aaron Ramsdale. Ben White, Saliba, Gabriel, and
Zinchenko. Yeah.
Zinchenko.
Tierney.
Is that shit?
Is it
No,
Tierney?
Zinchenko. Zinchenko.
And after that song, you can't drop him.
A midfield of Xhaka, Partey, and Martin Odegaard, and up front is Saka, Martinelli, and Gabriel Jesus. That is an
Same team.
unchanged team, ladies and gentlemen.
No surprises
So no changes to the team, no surprise there at all.
The big question is the bench. That's where it can get exciting.
Turner,
Oh,
Tierney,
right, so the bench is. Oops.
It's looking better now, the bench, isn't it? We've been waiting to
That's
have
the
a
hope.
stronger bench for a
Right.
long
Bench
time.
is Turner, Tierney, Tomiyasu, Rob Holding, Mohamed El Neni, Sambi Lokonga, Vieira, Smith Rowe, and Eddie Nketiah. And that rumour that we spoke about with no Pepe being there is true. So that means, come on, Pepe's gone, isn't it? He's sorting out his move to Nice. So that's Pepe gone. But yeah, immediate reaction to the team. Happy?
Yeah.
No changes?
As expected.
Yeah, I know you're unhappy, innit?
Tierney.
You want about 4 changes?
Yeah, no. You know what? It's fine. I'm just trying to not play devil's advocate, but I'm just trying to give everyone a different side of it. But yeah, no, that's fine. As you said before, if it's not broken, don't fix it. So
Yeah.
I just love that bench.
Yeah,
There are
isn't
options.
it? Yeah.
Yeah,
and
there's
so
attacking options,
many.
Good to see Fabio Vieira
yeah,
there.
Vieira.
I
yeah,
can't
yeah.
wait to
I
see
can see,
Fabio.
like I can, you want to help out the defence. You've got Tomiyasu,
Yeah.
you've got Tierney,
You've got someone in
El
every
Neni,
position.
Lokonga for steering midfield. You need some. You need goals. You've got Nketiah. You need some craft. You've got Smith Rowe. You've got Vieira. It's like.
What would you want, though, extra? I'd want someone with more goals on that
still need
bench,
a striker.
ideally.
Well, I still think we need a forward over
Yeah,
a central
me too.
midfielder.
Still need a
personally.
striker, yeah.
We need both, but I think it's about getting more help for Saka and Smith Rowe and Martinelli. Central midfield, I think we could blag it for another season just because of Zinchenko.
Well, depending on injuries, though.
But,
Interesting though with the Tielemans thing, as I said, being left out.
yeah,
Do
massive.
you think that could be him maybe coming?
Well, you know,
He's
what I mean,
going somewhere.
for the manager to say we've left him out because he's not in the right frame of mind, that tells you something. That tells you that obviously he's got decisions to make
He's
about
off.
his future.
He's probably on
so
the
I
track.
think it's going to be really interesting to see what happens next week on the whole
You know,
Tielemans front.
he's going somewhere, and we know
I
Pepe's
hope
done
it's
as well
to
because.
us.
Pepe's
Yeah,
gone.
yeah,
Pepe,
because
that's
all
done.
these managers are happy to include them in some kind of capacity, bench, squad,
I was
whatever.
surprised he played last week against us, though, Tielemans. He started.
I was too.
I was
wasn't.
shocked.
I wasn't. I think it's a negotiation tactic from Leicester.
Oh,
if we
okay.
are in for,
Yeah.
well, he's playing. He's our player. We don't care. You know, now it's more. Whether it's us or someone else, it's you're not involved. You're not
Pepe's gone.
committed.
Pepe's gone. Even yesterday, Mikel Arteta, he was asked about it in his press conference. He didn't deny it. You know what I mean? He said that about sorting out options for players and stuff like that. So Pepe is definitely gone, and surely that means if Pepe's gone, they're going to bring in some sort of right winger.
Wilfred Zaha, please.
I'd still be up for. They're winning
take
3-1,
Zaha, yeah.
by the way.
Yeah.
3-1 at home against Aston Villa, Crystal Palace.
What a player.
Again, shows how difficult that.
Would you want him though?
You know how great a result that was
Zaha.
for us. You know.
Not
Oh,
with-
you
not
wouldn't
with-
have Zaha.
Not
I
with,
would.
not with his attitude. Not for the
What's wrong
dressing.
with his attitude?
For the dressing room, nah.
What's wrong with his attitude?
Zaha.
What's that based on?
What's that based on? Yeah.
Wilfred Zaha.
Yeah.
He's an
I'd have
Arsenal
Wilfred
fan.
Zaha.
Nah, man.
He's an Arsenal
What's
fan.
wrong with his attitude?
he's
He
an
has like a
Arsenal fan.
winning
If he
attitude to
came
me.
to Arsenal,
he's
he
a bit
would
petulant
play
on
with
the
his
pitch,
heart.
with fouls and
I
all
love
that,
him.
but that's just most players are.
I love him as a player. Don't get
He
me wrong.
wouldn't
I'm not
come down
down him,
after
but what I am
everything
saying
that
is,
happens with
in
that.
terms of
You're going off of what you. You're going off of body language, right? But from what I've heard at Crystal Palace, right, that he's great in the dressing room.
Yeah.
That all of the young players look up to him, right? So he's. I've not heard that at all. You've never ever read a report saying that Zaha is horrible in the dressing room. You're just going.
No. I'm not saying he's in the dressing room. I'm just saying for me, if I'm playing with Zaha, especially when I see him at certain times, for me on the left-hand side, and when he's got a game where someone's sticking it on him in terms of defensively, he's got a hard battle, and he crumbles or he loses his rag. I can't afford for my team players to lose control. And for me, Zaha's very easy at losing control in a game.
We've had players worse than Zaha in our team.
Listen,
what's happened?
Far less talented.
But what's happened? That's what I mean.
All I know, right, is that, I take off Saka, I bring on Zaha. I take off Martinelli, I bring on Zaha, or vice versa. Zaha comes off, I bring on Saka. These are the type of problems I want to have at Arsenal.
You lot let us know. You lot let us know. Who would you like Zaha in your team?
We had a big show with it yesterday, actually. We were discussing it.
How old is Zaha now, though?
He is 29.
I'm not sure he would fit our profile of our type of players we sign.
He's got 1 year left on his contract, so he could be.
Do you really think Arteta would be happy with having him in the squad?
I would.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there's Jeremy Pino, there's all these sort of players that we've been linked with as
We're linked with much younger players, generally.
I'd rather Zaha than another.
He's Premier League proven, I get it. He knows his way about
I get the profile of the younger players and stuff like that, but Zaha is proven. But anyway, forget about Zaha right now. It's all about our team. Let me give it to you once again. Don't forget, we're doing a big watch along to it coming up after this. That's going to be starting about half an hour before the game, about 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock we kick off.
This is everything Robbie said not to be.
Ramsdale, White, Saliba, Gabriel, Zinchenko, Xhaka, Partey, Saka, Odegaard, Martinelli and Gabriel Jesus. Basically an unchanged team. On the bench, Turner, Tierney, Elneny, Sambi Lokonga. Oh, it just went from me then. Sambi Lokonga,
Emil Smith-Rowe, Vieira.
All right. Let me give you the. I haven't given you the Bournemouth team yet, so let me give you the Bournemouth team, of course, managed by Scott Parker, and their team is Kelly, Mepham, Zamura, Pearson, Moore, Lerma, Smith, Billing. He's massive, that Billing, isn't he?
I'd love us say back.
Travares, Tavernier, and Senesi. No Solanke in the lineup.
Didn't start against City, I don't think, either.
Yeah.
Injury or?
Still injured, I think.
Yeah,
interesting. I hope not, because I spent the whole preview saying he's one to watch.
Yeah, and he doesn't look like he's on the
second week in a row I've done that. I did that with Harvey Barnes.
Yeah, well, you know what? He's from what I can see here, he's not on the bench either.
Right, great.
That's good then.
So all that time spent on the analysis, right, of Dominic Solanke was a complete waste of time.
Big up Kiefer Moore, turns up.
He will not be playing. So, that's funny. All right. So once again, let me just give you their team again. It's Travers in goal. Remember, Aaron Ramsdale's going back to Bournemouth, the team he used to play for. Kelly, Mepham, Lerma, Smith, Tavernier, Kiefer Moore, Pearson, Senesi, Billing, and Zamira. And their subs is Neto, the new keeper they bought in, Lewis Cook, Ryan Christie, Macondes, Stacey, Lowe, Dembele, Hill, and Anthony. Yeah, no Dominic Solanke. That's a big miss for them.
On the bench,
so yeah, looking forward to the game. Remember, we're going to be doing the watch along. We are also at the game. Cecil and the guys are down there at the stadium, right? So we'll be catching up with fans after that game. We're also going to be catching up with the fans here in the studio. We'll be speaking to them. We're going to have the full-time show after that. We've got it covered here on AFTV. So make sure you subscribe so you get your notifications and you don't miss anything. Looking forward to the game. Coming up, 5:30 kickoff UK time. Arsenal visiting the Vitality Stadium to take on Bournemouth. We'll be back soon with Matchday Live.